start looking at this, this is going to get interesting for you. If we get to the one standard deviation level by the end of 2025, we're about 210,000. If we get to two standard deviations, it's 400, and it's about 800,000 if we get to two standard deviations. Now, we've hit two standard deviations every other time. Will we hit it this time around? I doubt it, but it's possible, right? What's the probabilities? I don't know. The probability of 210,000, I would say, is like 70%. 412,000 is like 40, 35%. 800,000, I don't know, 20%, 15%. But that's kind of the rough idea. And again, these are not predictions, they're contextualization.
A financial analyst has publicly criticized the use of global M2 money supply data to predict the price of Bitcoin, calling such analysis mathematically flawed and misleading. This criticism comes against the backdrop of a sharp increase in the global M2 money supply, which has reached a record high. Several analysts predict smaller trends for Bitcoin. Analyst TXMC Trades cited a chart by macroeconomic investor Raoul Pal comparing the price of Bitcoin to the global M2 money supply. TXMC Trades argued that daily or weekly charts of the global M2 money supply are fundamentally flawed due to the inconsistent update frequency of the underlying data. According to him, this practice distorts information by amplifying short-term fluctuations rather than providing an accurate long-term trend. He explained that many countries have yet to update their figures beyond February, creating significant data gaps. He also raised broader concerns about the misuse of the global M2 money supply. The analyst noted that China, which accounts for 46% of the global M2 money supply, is the only major economy whose overall money supply exceeds its post-2020 peak in dollar terms. Meanwhile, the U.S. M2 money supply remains below its 2022 peak. Furthermore, the analyst noted that its growth is at its slowest pace since Bitcoin's inception, excluding the 2022-2024 period. This suggests that the U.S. is not experiencing rapid money supply growth, which could impact inflation or other economic trends. This disparity, according to TXMC Trades, further compromises the reliability of the global M2 money supply as an indicator of Bitcoin price fluctuations. According to Raoul Pal, Solana and Bitcoin are about to hit the true banana zone. Before we move forward, if you want to stay updated with the latest crypto events and news, you can subscribe to our channel and like this video. Now, let's get back to Raoul Pal's view on Solana and the overall crypto market.
So at this point, we've got Trump, tax cuts, we've got tariffs, we've got a confusing picture, but at worst, it should get to about 56. 57.6, well, that would put Bitcoin up here, and that would put the ISM, if we got a full cycle, it would put it at 63. So those go back here. So when we look at the financial conditions, policy, liquidity, leading indicators, it's already saying that the ISM should get to 56.2. Let's go back to this. 56.2, well, that was this one, roughly. That's saying, well, financial conditions alone tell us we should be getting Bitcoin over, let's say, 300,000. So the banana zone, we started the banana zone. We're in the corrective part of the banana zone. The phase one correction, then we go to the next bit. But this whole ISM above 50, a growing business cycle, is what drives it. Then when ISM peaks is when crypto prices peak. We are nowhere near peaking. So we barely started. So you all need to relax. Again, the ISM leads altcoin season. Altcoin season is never going to happen again. It's only because of the ETF. We're never going to see altcoin season again. It will happen. There we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 30% corrections. In fact, many of them were almost 40%. I don't remember this. Well, I do remember the one in June, July, because I sold out at about 2,000 in that one. But generally speaking, you don't remember this stuff. Because in the end, the gains compound. So it's really important to zoom out and realize volatility is part of the story. It is how you get the impressive gains. You can't have them without the volatility.
Raoul Pal reveals his bold predictions for Bitcoin. Despite the excitement surrounding the Bitcoin Reserve project, its price remains below 100,000. However, investors have not lost hope in Bitcoin and its growing potential under Trump's leadership. Overall, it has been a bullish year for Bitcoin as the cryptocurrency enjoys political support and new policies aim to boost the sector rather than hinder it. Paul has higher hopes for Bitcoin this year based on past trends and current market dynamics. Paul believes Bitcoin is poised for a strong year, driven by global liquidity and mature market conditions. According to him, the current market situation is very similar to 2017 after Trump's election, when a continuous flow of liquidity fueled Bitcoin's growth. However, this time, China could play a larger role in driving global liquidity. Despite Bitcoin's ups and downs in 2022, Paul believes the market has reached maturity. The introduction of Bitcoin ETFs and a more stable investor base could prevent drastic corrections. He predicts that even if Bitcoin reaches $100,000, pullbacks could be mild, with a possible drop to around $90,000 before recovering again. Paul presented 3 possible scenarios for the Bitcoin price by the end of 2025. In a worst-case scenario, Bitcoin could reach between $200,000 and $250,000. A more moderate or base-case scenario puts Bitcoin at $350,000. But if the market experiences a 2017-like peak, Bitcoin could peak, surpassing $500,000. Furthermore, this positive outlook is not limited to Bitcoin alone. Paul is bullish on the entire cryptocurrency market. The primary factor behind Bitcoin's rising price stems from the growth in the global money supply, global M2. His research shows that Bitcoin responds to the changes in liquidity levels, while all current indicators point to a return to liquidity growth. Risk assets are projected to perform well throughout the year, and global M2 supply growth is projected to maintain its growth rate. According to Paul's analysis, Bitcoin peaked in 2017 following a weakening U.S. dollar and a rapid increase in global liquidity. The current economic environment bears significant similarities to the conditions of the first bull market. Previous macroeconomic cycles are Paul's primary method for predicting cryptocurrency market behavior. According to his perspective, Bitcoin's price is benefiting from liquidity inflation measures by central banks, which are currently implementing such policies. The current Bitcoin cycle resembles the 2017 bull run. Bitcoin suffered significant price drops as much as 35% before reaching new all-time highs. Altcoins recovered from a 65% correction to record a much stronger rebound. Markets are experiencing this typical noise without any reason for panic reactions. A market correction is an essential process that allows the market to reset before its next price surge. This assessment leads Paul to predict that the Bitcoin price could rise to $210,000 with the potential of $412,000 or even higher to $805,000. Paul says the future remains bright, but advises investors to be prepared as high volatility remains a constant feature of this journey. According to the expert, market crashes will reduce the value of investments by 30 to 35%, as was the case in previous market cycles. Paul said that the cryptocurrency market has entered the second phase of what he calls the banana zone. This phase is characterized by exponential price increases, often fueled by speculative frenzy and excess liquidity. Paul's comments follow a volatile week for Bitcoin, which fluctuated widely before settling around $90,000. He explained that when the ISM index crosses the 50 mark, it typically signals the start of a bullish phase for Bitcoin. He emphasized that the current strength of the dollar is acting like a wrecking ball, negatively impacting global economic growth. However, he anticipates that once Trump is in power, fiscal expansion and dollar weakening policies could create a favorable environment for cryptocurrencies.